call this one.
No,
I really don't. EG at times, they looked completely flat, and then they reverse sweep 2 different teams yesterday. Then you wind up bringing up Epsilon, where, yes, they placed 4th at Champs, but since then it's kind of been a little bit more of a quieter experience. They had a slow start to Infinite Warfare, not a lot of pro points. But then they've had some very solid wins as well this weekend.
Yeah, I think they've built up slowly again. They're sort of a little bit like FNATiC, a little bit further behind than them, I would say.
Yep.
Although they are playing at the same level in the bracket currently. So, I mean, they're playing for the same placements as them, which is important for Epsilon. I think Epsilon need to do better than FNATiC in terms of the pro points. I know they're a little bit behind. And I know that they're going to be going into Dallas and they're going to have to pay it through the open bracket. So that's really going to be hard for them as well. But Epsilon need to get some wins on the board today to have their hopes high for the LAN League. So for me, I think they could do okay this weekend.
Yep.
I think they've got potential to beat EG when they go up against them. It'll be a hard game, though. It's going to be a close one because I think, as I said, EG did start to catch fire, but Epsilon, they beat Red Reserve yesterday. And they've gotten a couple of good results on their way here. I couldn't recall who exactly they beat, but they beat some good teams.
Yep.
So if we can see them really start firing, Hawkey has had a good tournament from when we've seen him play. Dave's been playing well. Desire's been playing well. They've all been playing well. I mean, I'm trying to name off the top guys, and they've all been playing very, very well. But, I mean, these two teams on the stage, though, FNATiC could be in the big surprise from Europe this weekend, I would say.
FNATiC and SPLYCE about to get underway as we've been talking about the different teams still in it. We've been taking a look at all the players on the main stage ready to go already. The crowd beginning to file on in. We've got the Scuff Gaming booth next to us, which throughout the weekend has had a ton of people at it. Obviously now a little bit early. People haven't been bouncing over there quite yet, but trust me, it's been a lot of fun here this weekend. My first time ever in Paris. I know a lot of the other casters, you've been around here before. We went to the Eiffel Tower last night.
We did. It was beautiful and romantic, wasn't it, Jeff?
I'll be honest. I knew us three were going to have fun. I knew me, you, Momo, we would have a blast, but I was not expecting Brycey. I wasn't ready for Brycey to just have the time of his life at the Eiffel Tower. This guy fell in love with it. He didn't want to. Brycey did not want to leave the Eiffel Tower last night, and we literally were having to drag him away.
I mean, when you seen the look in his eyes when he seen the Eiffel Tower, I mean, it was a beautiful thing.
It was a beautiful thing. And look, we all got our great selfies, our pictures. We're good to go. I feel like I've experienced all of Paris by going to the Eiffel Tower, and I feel like I just offended a lot of people from France.
Yeah, you need to see some more things in Paris. I mean,
there's some things. Maven's shaking his head. Nah. Our hotel's pretty cool. Michael Phelps was here.
Our friend Mikey?
You're on nickname basis, I see. Okay. Yeah, Mikey P is what he goes by, if you know him real well.
I wish I'd seen him.
Dude, I saw him a couple times. So this morning I woke up at 4:30 a.m. And don't know why. Just couldn't fall back asleep. Was on my phone for a couple hours. Then I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go to the gym. And I heard yesterday around the same time that I was going to go to the gym.
Did you see him in the gym this morning?
I went to the gym, yeah.
I know, but did you see him in the gym?
No, that was the goal.
Damn.
So I went down there, and I heard that he worked out about the same time that I was going down to yesterday. Fortunately, no Michael Phelps.
I mean,
I was the only one there.
That is the best
the winningest Olympian of all time. He is the most medals of anybody. And I had a perfect tweet lineup. If I got a photo with him, I would have said this. What do Michael Phelps and I have in common? We both won golds. Except mine have been online S&D tournaments, and he has won major Olympic titles.
I mean, the disparity there isn't that much, I suppose.
It isn't at all. It isn't at all. A one and done, a 100-meter race. Who cares? One thing I do care about is this Call of Duty match. FNATiC and SPLYCE loading on into the rig draft. All the energy's already kicking on in. Tons had an energy drink. I've had 4.5 hours of sleep. But you know what I have? I have the pride of America on my back and in my heart as we have 4 top NA teams and 4 top European teams fighting it out for a championship here in Paris. There's your rig draft. FTL jump for both these teams makes a lot of sense on Scorch Hardpoint.
Yeah, I think FTL is something we've seen a lot more this weekend, obviously with the bans that did come in before Atlanta. Again, it's one of those that we've talked about quite a lot. It's something that can get you a kill, but that's about it. But that one kill can make, obviously, a difference whatever situation you're in. So for me, it's not hugely useful. I mean, they're giving it to Tommy and Jared. Obviously, the rest of the guys using their payloads to the best of their abilities. But, I mean, the main one has been the whole time active camo.
Yeah, I do want to bring up that. It kind of reminds me of the feeling that I had back with camo at the beginning of Black Ops 3 when players weren't really using it in the best of ways. A lot of them were trying to just use it and maybe get some map positioning without any spotting anybody. It wasn't really objective focused.
It's there to break hills now.
But now, as time went on in Black Ops 3, it became really one of the most powerful specialist abilities. And then now in Infinite Warfare, camo even stronger.
Yeah.
And when you use it as your payload ability, you're basically guaranteed kills. So FTL jump, don't think it's going to ever be as impactful as camo,
God,
but I think
no.
people are still learning the best ways to use it. I think it's one that can have a little bit more impact in a game mode like Uplink. Maybe you have your guy with FTL jump as your lead blocker. He gets a kill, jumps forward, you pass him during that, you pass the drone to him. He's gaining now an extra 10 feet towards that portal. I don't know, I'm thinking of different ideas.
In Uplink, it would be much more powerful if I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, you drop the drone if you FTL jump. I mean, could you imagine? That would be ridiculous. I mean, it would be good, though, because it would be even more powerful, and it would sort of lead towards more players with it. But for me, I think it's sort of at the right level there now, where it is impacting a little bit, but not too much.
Well, let's get into it, folks. Map number 1 of a fantastic day ahead is going to be Scorch Hardpoint, FNATiC up against SPLYCE. FNATiC, the team this weekend that has surprised many to make it this far. SPLYCE, the European squad, who I've heard it from many people. There have been some whispers of some potential roster scheming happening with this squad as time goes on. Let's get into it, though. Game number 1 now underway.
Well, the crowd isn't quite full yet, but they are making some noise here for this game, and it's bound to be a good one. I can't wait to see the rest of this day play out and see how hot that crowd gets. But let's see how hot SPLYCE are going to be straight off the bat here. A couple of kills coming in, just trading between each other, trying to establish some control in this mid-map. Trades come away to each on each side. There we go. FNATiC break the duck. They're going to get the kills. Jed does answer back, though, and back and forth between these two, straight on the bat.
Yesterday, Bance, we're watching him right now, had a couple monster performances. 1-13-5 in a search and destroy to help secure a series to keep his team alive. Another one in that uplink versus Envious. When the guy is on point, there are few in Europe that are better than him. Josh right now, his teammate from that COD Champs Grand Final, doing what he can to stay alive, but there Tommy actually gets the best of both of them. As SPLYCE right now do have a great start to this game, currently up 26-1.
Jed's on a 3 streak already, 4-1 from him. A great start from SPLYCE, as said, but FNATiC do have the setup for this next hard point. Jed, he just snaps up at Tommy like that. Tommy was already weak, but he takes him down 5-2 from him. Madcat yet to pick up a kill, but he's going to pick up these final few scraps. And we can see FNATiC are set up on this next hard point, but a 43-1 score off the first one. Really good work by SPLYCE.
Look at the angle Madcat just got there for a second. I thought he potentially could have seen another. Not going to work out, but it's 3 SPLYCE members now charging on in, and Sunny B with some of his shots, and Bance makes him pay for it. A clean break from SPLYCE, and this is what I was worried about if you're on the side of FNATiC. We talked about, yes, their strength in a game mode like Search and Destroy. They've yet to drop one this weekend, as you brought up. But on the other side of things, you look at SPLYCE, how good they've looked it up. Like now in hardpoint, up by 60 seconds after just the first hill.
And they can't even get out of
mid-map. This one could get ugly quick.
They can't get out of mid-map at this moment in time. You know, SPLYCE are doing that classic hardpoint thing. They're getting a hold of the point, but they're expanding out and they're pushing them further away. Wiskin's having one little last go here. So we do try to switch on board with him. Just going to try and pick up these final few scraps. He's going to get them, and his team, yeah, okay. That's
great,
fine.
you got these 10
but look
seconds.
at this. Look, I mean, SPLYCE have got 4 men into hangar, and FNATiC have got no power here. SPLYCE are going to pick up on the majority of points on this one if they can hold it down.
Yeah, they've got. I like how SPLYCE are playing this. They're trying to soften up and weaken scraps back here. SPLYCE want these spawns, and Bance wins a big 1v1 right there. You got to point it out because now look at where FNATiC are spawning all the way across the map, and you've got to look back at when Wuskin pushed with only 10 seconds left of scrap time. Did nothing for his team. Gave him no number advantage at the new hard point. And now SPLYCE, they're punishing him because of it. A quick kill there for Jerd. Thankfully for FNATiC, they do outmuscle SPLYCE in those engagements to retake control of Hangar.
They have done, but SPLYCE have got the better spawn here, so they're not going to be far away. They shouldn't lose too many points if they can collapse in. Scraps does pick up 2, though, so he's going to push them out. He's on a 4 streak. Let's see what he can do. Can he continue this one on? I think he wants to. Does take down Vance. And they're going to get a hold of spawn. All the SPLYCE players are coming from bridge. Can they hold this down? SPLYCE inside the hard point now. Scraps. It's an important kill. Jed takes him down. Trades away, coming in though. Wuskins is going to get the better of Jed and Josh there, so FNATiC going to hold this one down. Pick up that final few seconds in. The deficit is not as bad, but we can see once again, first guys there is going to be SPLYCE. Jed is 12-5.
Jerd, great start to this game. Second on the team in objective score as well. He knows there's someone pushing through this top Skybridge area. Gives away his position. The challenge comes in from Sunny B. Not going to win that one. Sunny B, if Jerd is shooting this well. Scraps the one trying to match his performance on the side of FNATiC. He's 12-7. We talked about the duo of brothers in Scraps and Wuskin. Wuskin has had some fantastic performances so far this weekend, but consistency is always the question when it comes down to Scraps, Sunny B, and Wuskin. And right now you have Sunny B at 3-9. He needs to turn things around as this game goes on.
Absolutely. I think, you know, when we've seen FNATiC win games, it's because the rest of the team, as well as Tommy, has been performing well. Here comes the streaks here from Jerd. I think he's just going to try and soften FNATiC up, if anything. Just keeps them away a little bit longer. Marquette's left all alone on his own. And I like that, actually, because Jade pulls them in when Marquette is on his own. So FNATiC have to take cover. They can't push in us. They're just going to get taken out very, very quickly. Jade is currently 13-7.
Oh,
not far off
goodness.
his payload. Bank's going to miss a couple of shots. Sunny B going to take him down. Those final few points going towards FNATiC, who have slightly closer gap.
I feel like FNATiC, they get away with that first side with only being down by about 40 seconds, and with how poorly they had of a start, that's not too bad. This is definitely something that they can come back from. Sunny B still trying to make this ERAD work. He's had some good moments, but even right there, gets caught off guard by Jerd yet again. Jerd is not slowed down. 15-7, first player with a payload, and there's the FTL jump kill as well. An example of what you mentioned. It's really just kind of gives you one, but there's no real follow-up to it as well.
Yeah, that's the thing, and here come FNATiC. They're going to get inside that hard point. Sunny B goes down though to Josh, and SPLYCE just seem to be strong-arming FNATiC here. I think even when it gets to the point where FNATiC are in the point, SPLYCE seem to break it quite easily every single time, and they're holding it down fairly well as well. Extending that lead that they did have. Shots going to come in from Tommy. Looking towards the scoreboard though. Sunny B 7-11. Yeah, he is letting his team down just a little bit, but the rest of the team not doing too badly. They're slaying, but they're not. The thing is, they're not getting them at the right times. They're slaying and maybe picking up the final few scrap points in every single time.
Well, I think the big difference you can see is in the objective time between these two teams. You're mentioning where they're slaying and getting the kills. It's in examples like this, but then, great, you're trading back and forth. But guess what? At the end, Josh winds up winning the trades more efficiently for SPLYCE. Thankfully for FNATiC, they've at least spawned close near this deck side, so they can challenge this hard point quick. They'll do just that. And now SPLYCE are spawning out of this hill. 45 seconds left now on Turbine. If FNATiC get all this time, they'll be back down by about 40. But still, SPLYCE have gotten the lead early on and haven't looked back since.
For me, I think FNATiC, they didn't do what SPLYCE did. They got a hold of the point, yes, fantastic, but they're not really pushing out. Sunny B is causing problems down that right-hand side, but they didn't push out. They didn't try and force SPLYCE to spawn further and further out. Saying that, SPLYCE did get a bad spawn either way. So the thing is, they're not in a position where they can defend from the front. FNATiC have got some defensive work to do inside the Turbine, and Bance is picking up kills. Mark picks them up as well, and suddenly it's over.
And when Jerd starts slowing down a little bit in this game, Bance begins to heat on up. They're on a combined 8 streak now on the side of SPLYCE. They're just taking over again, where you think the boys of FNATiC should have the numbers at this Hangar Hill. SPLYCE just walk on in and take control of it.
Oh, dear.
Tommy doesn't actually finish off the kill on Bance. Thankfully, his teammate will show on up, and they should finally kill him off there.
Yeah.
Still an 80-second lead for SPLYCE.
As we can see now, SPLYCE trying to push on through mid-map. But with Marquette, shots can be fired towards Hangar. Kills straight away between Jordan and Wuskin. Marquette taking this slowly, just want to try and stack up. And that's what I like about SPLYCE. They just take their time and pick you off from the outside, and they force their way in. Suddenly, it is only Wuskin and Scrapsy G left alive. The twins go down. SPLYCE just sweep on through.
That kind of sums up what we've seen so far on this map. Jerd and Bance a combined positive 12. FTL jump now being used, and SPLYCE and FNATiC. FNATiC realize they're at a point now where they can't just keep giving up 25 seconds of scrap time in these hills. They try to contest it, and in the end, Josh still wins that final gunfight again for SPLYCE. A 100-second lead, the largest yet now in this map. I don't see how FNATiC come back in this game, Tom.
They're going to have a huge... I mean, try and keep it even enough at drill. Try and keep it even enough in the middle, and then when it gets to Turbine, just try and hold that down for 60. I mean, that's the only way they've got back into this game.
They can try, but even the times where FNATiC have had the perfect setup they want, it typically just takes one well-coordinated push from SPLYCE to break it, and SPLYCE so far this map have had that great discipline to wait for their teammates to come off spawn, to not charge in one by one. Even here is another example. They have the numbers at all times. Look at how FNATiC are pushing on up. They're trying to make a play happen, but SPLYCE continue to just team shot. They continue to cut them down with ease. And it's just looking easy now. 235 to 116. SPLYCE can win it off this hill. FNATiC, they're going to pop whatever they can. They drop Centurion in the next hardpoint. But Wuskin, my friend, you've got a challenge towards drill. A tough first hardpoint as SPLYCE will take this one 250 to 116.
Really good performance out of SPLYCE, and it's that punching power. Even if FNATiC are setting themselves up well, SPLYCE just pinch and collapse on the hardpoint every single time, and they just got hold of it every single time. FNATiC not able to hold on. Let's have a look at the scoreboard quickly as well. 26 and 17 from Jerd. Other side of things is not a fantastic performance out of every member of FNATiC, but still.
Definitely not.
Yeah,
definitely not.
It was a hard game for them. Their SPLYCE look hot.
You saw Sunny be there in the first seat on your screen. He was the one that was really lagging behind the rest of his team at the start of that map, where Jerd started off hot. Sunny B did the exact opposite. We'll pull up the scoreboard now so you can see it in full The only player going positive
Tommy.
was Wuskin, but look at the defense on the side of FNATiC. It just tells a story of how little control they had on that map. 3 total defense throughout the entire team. One of the lowest mounts I've seen in a long time.